So it's official. Hurricane Milton is bearing down on Florida and heading directly to my front door. The New York Jets have fired Robert Saleh after 5 games into the 2024 season. I'm hurricane ready, so let's talk about it. Robert Saleh's gone and he's not coming back. Whether you agree with the reasons doesn't matter. At the end of the day, Woody Johnson is the owner and he has a right to do with his team as he wants. Same way, as a fan, you have a right to be a fan or not. That's your choice. But just like I've said multiple times in the past, you are what your record says you are. Saleh was 20-36 since taking the head coaching job. That's a losing record. In 3.5 seasons, he won only 35% of his games. Was there something that you can point to that would have made him stand out more than the other coaches? Did he excel at any one thing? He wasn't known as a defensive guru, certainly not for his offensive prowess. That made him dispensable. I think what confuses people is the term head coach. Let's not get it twisted. He's not coaching. Baseball gets it right when they use the term manager. A football head coach relies on coordinators to call the plays during the game. They have individual position coaches to hone the players during practice. The head coach is a manager to get everybody together, have everyone playing in tune with one another. Basically, they're like an orchestra conductor. For real, we should be calling the best coaches in the NFL maestro. With that said, tell me again how Woody Johnson was wrong by firing Saleh. So who do you get? What we have is an above average defense that has moments where they play as elite as any other team in the NFL. You have an aging quarterback behind a mixed offensive line, a talented running back who struggles to get 40 yards per game, and a receiver core that can be called trade bait, Mr. Glass, and the quarterback's boy. You do the math and you figure out which one is which. And now the Jets are working on bringing Davante Adams to New York to join this merry bunch. Good luck. In the meantime, the Jets have promoted Jeff Ulbrich. Jeff has been the Jets' defensive coordinator since 2021, and it's tough to say that he has not made a major difference. While the Jets have been known as a defensive team for years, we have seen what can happen when a DC leaves a great defensive team. Baltimore lost their DC in the offseason to go head coach the Seahawks. As of week 5, the Ravens still don't look like the same team. Here's a short list. Bill Belichick, sometimes called the GOAT. Mike Vrabel, currently the assistant coach with the Cleveland Browns. Ben Johnson, offensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions. Bobby Slowick, offensive coordinator of the Houston Texans. And of course, Jeff Ulbrich, the current interim head coach for the New York Jets. Bill wants to coach again, I'm sure. In certain circumstances, he would do a great job. But what I respect most about Bill is that he made the hard decisions needed to keep building his team. Legacy mode. This is not the right situation. We are not legacy ready. We have a very short window where winning would be possible. Vrabel would be interesting, but ultimately there's no way that he and Ulbrich can coexist with one another. Let's address that right away. Jeff Ulbrich would be on multiple teams' short lists by season's end anyway, and Woody would have to make the tough decision of making him the head coach or watching him take a job with someone else. Now you can go another way. The issue with this team is not the defense, but rather the offense. You could bring in Ben Johnson or Bobby Slowick to revamp and try to right the ship. But here's the problem. Ben Johnson isn't leaving the Lions mid-season, and he will be, in all likelihood, the most sought-after coach in the league. Slowick would be an interesting thing, as he definitely will be leaving the Texans by season's end, because D'Amico Ryans ain't going anywhere. But the issue with bringing in an offensive coordinator goes back to the same reason why Robert Saleh got fired in the first place. The current OC for the Jets is Nathaniel Hackett. He was brought in to appease Aaron Rodgers. But it's obvious to every Jets fan that this offense is stale, stagnant, and unoriginal. His record speaks for itself. The only success he can really point to is his stint in Green Bay as an offensive coordinator with Rodgers. That was a very different team, and that was a very different Rodgers. Here's what's going to happen in the end. Jeff Ulbrich will coach this team to the end of the season. They might slink into the playoffs, then lose. At the end of the season, Jeff will be made official as the new head coach. The Jets will still stink, and within 2 years, he'll be fired and Rodgers will be forced to retire because of his age, without bringing the Jets what he so boldly promised, another Super Bowl championship. And all because Woody Johnson has fallen in love with the idea of Aaron Rodgers being here to lead this team. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I drank too much whiskey filming this. Who knows? To Woody, if you really want to win, hire Bill Belichick as your GM, not your coach. Let him explode this team and build a young contender with draft picks. He'll make those tough choices that you don't want to make. My name is Anthony Rodrguez, and you've been watching my hot take on the mess in New York. Don't forget to watch us Friday on the podcast to see if we survived Hurricane Milton. Until then, let's keep it football, and let's keep it from the hip.